Hope everybody's well. Gonna jump straight to it. Not gonna wait for people to get on or anything like that. Got a share I need to share, and gotta be out. Once again, this is your boy Freddie Johnson, aka Freddie's Blades, aka DJ Doxology. Just once again sharing some wisdom from outside of the barbershop, out front, where we like to hang out and go ahead and just, talk about life, share some wisdom, kind of breathe, take a mental health break sometimes, get stuff off our chest wherever, it's where barbers like to do it a lot of times, right in front of the shop. So when you see us in front of the shop, most times, we're talking about something deep. You know what I'm saying? Some type of philosophy, some type of stuff, most of the time. You know what I mean? But that's how we do what we do. But one of the things I want to share real quick is doing your best versus doing what it takes. I want to share this because this is some kind of tough love. All right? Now, there's so many of us in this world, in this life, and we kind of try to get along or try to get a pass by saying that we're doing our best. And there may be a season in our life where we really believe that. There may be a season in our life where we really think that's going to make everything okay in some situations. Or maybe even those situations, if we're just presenting the fact that we're doing our best. And this is a lesson that I had to learn the hard way. And that clearly is, there's a difference between doing your best and doing what it takes. You may be trying to get a certain grade point level in school, and you're just really fighting hard. Probably got a tutor, you're probably studying the best you know how, and things of that nature. And for some reason or another, you're finding yourself in a position where you're falling short. You may be trying to build a business, and in trying to build that business, you're doing the best with what you know. You're posting as much as you know to post. You're networking as much as you know to network. You're marketing as much as you know to market. At this point, with who you are in your development, and you may be wondering why you're not getting the success you envisioned. You may be wondering why you're not getting the success that you even thought you would get based on the effort that you're putting forward, right? And it could be frustrating, definitely. Well, you may be in a position where you might be in a relationship and doing the best you can in order for the relationship to work the way you might have hoped or dreamed that it would work, and you're scratching your head trying to figure out how come it's not working the way you thought that it should work. I'm going to tell you, there's going to be a point in your life where you're going to realize, hopefully sooner rather than later, that your best is not always good enough. And there's another part to that. Just because your best may not be good enough, it doesn't mean that you quit. It doesn't mean that this is not the opportunity for you. It doesn't mean that this is not the relationship for you. It doesn't mean that this is not your season. It doesn't mean that this is not your opportunity. It doesn't mean that this is not your business, that you're not supposed to be successful at this point. It doesn't mean that you're not supposed to, get the grades in this specific class or course that you feel or you thought that you should get. One of the things that I've learned years ago, this is by Dr. Miles Monroe, he basically said, if what you see is not what you saw, then basically you're still in transition. You're still in process. You're not at the end. Until you see what you saw. So just know that it's not the end. Just know that it's not over. Just know that it's not a wrap. If what you're seeing right now is not what you envisioned in the beginning, a lot of times when we have a vision for our future, we also visualize a future self. So in visualizing that future self, there's a feeling that comes with it, right? And there is a specific swag that we might have, or a level of maturity or stature that we may be carrying where we visualize our future self. So if we're in a situation that kind of looks like the vision, but we're not that person yet, that means that we're still in the process of becoming. That means that we're still on our way to attaining what we're striving to attain. We're on our way to the full manifestation of that vision, that dream, that goal, you know, that oasis of success that we may have had. And so one of the things that we have to understand is there are other levels to becoming. And there are other levels that we can reach to bring us to that place of the manifestation of that dream, of the manifestation of that goal. So how do you become? One of the ways that we become is by submitting to mentorship and being mentored or coached by someone who is in the place where we want to be, by someone who is in life where we are striving to go. And it's important that as soon as possible, we put ourselves in a position where we are in the room with that type of individual or those type of individuals through which we can get into that environment and we can grow. Another way that we become, and Dr. Miles Monroe said this specifically, is by reading. When you read, I remember David Shan says this, it's like we're actually downloading the thought process of the author. So when you are downloading the thought process of the author, you're picking up something that's greater than what you've had before you picked up that book or before you started taking that course. You must do what's necessary to develop you on a whole nother level. And you know, you may need to take a course. You may need to get a tutor. And if you have a tutor and you're still not reaching those goals, that tutor may be a close friend of yours. You might have a good relationship, but because of the fact that your objective is not being reached, it's not being fulfilled, then you may need another tutor. Or in a mentor's case, you may need another mentor. You may need, you know, another coach. Now, that's only if you're doing everything that they're saying that you should do. I'm talking about to the letter. I'm not talking about you saying to yourself, well, I am doing it. And then they start asking you questions, specific questions, and you're like, no, I haven't done that. So then in that case, you're not doing everything that they've instructed for you to do. And you may need to stay with that coach, or you may need to stay with that mentor. Don't get it twisted. All right? Because then what you're going to end up doing is you're going to be running in circles. And the one you're going to be running from is yourself. Becoming that person that you're supposed to become in order to obtain and acquire the things that you are supposed to attain. Okay? So just understand that as a reality. Doing what it takes is what's necessary to achieve that goal. Doing what it takes is what's necessary to accomplish that mission. Doing what it takes is exactly what it says. It's what it takes. So if we're just saying, I'm doing my best, I'm doing my best, I'm doing my best, but you're not doing what it takes, you have to step back and take an objective look at this situation to find out, okay, what do I need to change about me in order to be able to get to this level that I need to get on? What do I need to change about me? And it's a tough question you might need to ask sometimes, but it's a necessary question because it's going to place you in a position where you're not only going to be able to help yourself, you're going to be able to help the people that you come in contact with as well. You may be an Olympic runner, and in your practice, you might find yourself very close to the timing that you're looking for, and you may feel that you're doing your best, but sometimes all it takes is doing more of what you've been doing it more consistently, doing it more often, or doing it with the right attitude, so that you'll attack that training with a whole different state of mind. You'll attack that training with the mentality that's needed in order for you to be a champion. There is so much that we can accomplish as human beings. There's so much that we are capable of as human beings. And it's very important that we make sure that we're not limiting ourselves. I remember Myron Golden said that they can do with who they are right now. So in order for you to be able to do better, you may have to become someone else. And I'm not talking about, having a different name, different DNA, any of that. No, just a higher level of yourself. That next level of yourself. You can't accomplish tomorrow's goals with the person you were yesterday. And a lot of times we try to do that. We try to go back to times where we have accomplished what was great in the past in order to be able to get to that next level in the future. I mean, just like with a video game, just because you beat the boss on the last level doesn't mean you're gonna beat the boss on the level you're on right now. It's gonna take a whole nother level of skill. It's gonna take another level of concentration. It's gonna take another level of focus. There's other combinations you may need to use. There's other weapons that you may need to have that you didn't have on the last level in order to be able to defeat this boss. So you may be able to you may have to acquire other weapons. You may have to acquire other tools, other skills. You'll still be yourself, but yet you'll be somebody else, because now you have things that you didn't have yesterday. You are now what you weren't yesterday. Once you've gone through building those necessary skills, reading those necessary books, going through those necessary courses, taking those coaching sessions or mentoring sessions with that right coach or with that right mentor, making sure that you're following those steps that you need to follow. So as you are going through this process, you actually feel yourself growing and changing. As you're going through this process, you actually feel something different going on within yourself. Now, one other thing you may also need to change is how you talk to yourself. Because when we talk to ourselves, we hear ourselves from our inner ear and our outer ear. So you're hearing yourself twice when you're talking to yourself, which is why it is so detrimental for the human being to speak negative or to be so hard on yourself that it's affecting the way that you function. Now, it's one thing to kind of be a self-motivator who is saying things that you know is going to push you to the next level. You're saying things that you know is going to make you work harder, going to make you, do one more set, one more rep, read one more chapter in that book, go one more round in that ring if you're sparring, or go one more lap if you're running. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if that's the case, then that will be positive. But if you are so hard on yourself that you're speaking down on yourself, calling yourself things like dumb, stupid, I can't do this and I can't do that, you have to understand the subconscious mind can't take a joke. So once something comes out of your mouth, your subconscious mind automatically says, oh, that's who we are. That's what we're doing. That's what we're capable of. That's what our limits are. Okay, then that's what our limits are going to be. But if you are speaking to yourself in a positive way, if you're speaking to yourself with words of strength, with words of motivation, with words of inspiration, with words of knowledge, with words of encouragement, with words of wisdom and understanding, then you're going to find yourself growing, because you're sowing good seeds, or you're watering good seeds that have already been sown. So with you watering good seeds that have already been sown, what's happening is those seeds are growing and growing into what's necessary for you to be able to accomplish what you need to accomplish, for you to be able to not only visualize good things, but realize them, walk into them. The human being is created to accomplish great things. And our minds are created to solve problems. And our minds are created to think right. So if our minds are operating in the nature in which they are created to operate, and very little or maybe nothing can be withheld from you. You will not be denied. That which you push to accomplish, you're going to find yourself getting more notches on your belt, with wins after wins, victories after victories. I mean, those things are going to be done. You're going to have so much more in the W column by pushing yourself to be one that does what it takes, and not taking any excuses, not taking no from for an answer. I'm talking about from yourself. Not settling for less than what you know you can accomplish, not settling for any less than what you know you are capable of. If you focus on these things, man, you'll be amazed at what you'll be able to do. You'll be able to look in the mirror and be happy with who you see, with who you become, with what you've accomplished. You know, those who have acquired and, of course, attained, work for their PhD, they weren't born, Dr. So-and-so. They had to become Dr. So-and-so. And a lot of times, I would even argue to say every time they have become Dr. So-and-so before they got the letters. It happened in their heart, it happened in their mind, it happened in their spirit, in their habits. They were already doing it. They come to a place where they operated on that standard. And then came time to walk it out and finish the work. Now, sometimes, that could have been accomplished maybe even right before they've even written their dissertation. It may have happened, at some point when they were even in high school. It may have happened at some point, right before they've finished their master's degree. It could have happened at any given time, but I believe that 100% of the times it happened before they got the letters. They didn't become Dr. So-and-so when they got those letters. It happened before they got those letters. So if you want to become that person that you see in that vision, it has to happen before you're able to reach that goal. 9 times out of 10, when somebody's about to get promoted on a job, they're already doing the job before they get the promotion. So what's happening is you're already doing what it takes to get the job, which is why you got the job. Does that make sense? That's why you got the promotion, because you were already doing what it takes. So we don't have to wait until we're in our dream place to be that person that we saw in that dream. So in order to be able to get to that place, we have to first become that person that we've seen in that dream, that we've seen in that vision, in order for it to be able to manifest. I hope I'm making sense to somebody. It has to happen before it happens. It has to happen here before it happens, and we have to flesh it out before we see it manifest. You know, I've heard it said often that champions aren't made in the ring, they're just recognized there. Becoming a champion happens in training. Becoming a champion happens in practice. Becoming a champion happens when nobody is looking. Nobody is there to watch you work and build and grow. It's practically happening in the dark when nobody is looking. So at that time, when you have an audience viewing that final bout or that final round or that championship round or that championship fight, when you have that crowd or arena full of people, you're already ready. By the time that happens, you're already ready to get that gold medal. You're already ready. You're ready to receive that new belt and that title. That belt tied around your waist. That title being coupled along with your name. You're ready because you made it happen before it happened. You made it happen before the big event. You made it happen before that final exam. You made it happen before that audience came, before that crowd came, before the tickets were purchased. You already made it happen. So hopefully this is taking us beyond where we've been. Hopefully this is taking us beyond the way we used to think and how you used to process information about yourself. You are capable of doing what it takes. And I'm not saying this to try to motivate you, because motivation is emotional. It goes away in a matter of days. But hopefully, to put something in you, to deposit something in you that's not gonna go away. To deposit something in you that's going to stick to your ribs. One that you can really grow on. Feed your subconscious mind what it needs in order to be able to do what it takes. Feed your conscious mind, feed your body, feed your spirit what it needs in order to do what it takes. So you can be where you need to be, accomplish what you need to accomplish. That I'm doing my best stuff, that's yesterday's level. That's last level's skill set, right? That's behind you and beneath you. That I'm doing my best stuff. No, we're reaching forward, forgetting those things that's behind us. We're pressing toward the mark for the prize of a high calling. We're pressing. We are pushing. We're moving forward, moving forward, moving forward. I'm doing my best. It's not good enough. You have to be better than what your best was. You have to be better than what your best is now in order for you to be able to get there. And the only way for you to do that is to become more, to become greater, to become stronger, wiser, and better than you were yesterday, better than you are today, so you can solidify tomorrow. You can do it. You can do it. My Bible says I can do all things to Christ who strengthens me. You gotta believe it. You gotta breathe it. You gotta embody it. You gotta get all up in it and let it get all up in you. You understand what I'm saying? It has to be everywhere. So you can't escape it. Everywhere you go, it has to be part of your breath. It has to be in your veins. It has to be all through your thoughts. in order for you to be able to get there. And when you get there, you're going to help others to be able to get there. You know, so many people say it, and it kind of sounds like a trite expression. It kind of sounds cliche, you know, but you got to live it. You got to breathe it. You got to be it. You got to eat it. You got to sleep it. You got to drink it. You have to allow yourself to get fully immersed in the process of the manifestation of your dream or your goal, fully immersed in the process. So that means don't even just get caught up on the end result. Make sure you're doing everything you need to do today to get to where you need to go tomorrow. So with that, it's important for us also to set short-term goals. What do I need to do today? What do I need to do this week? Right? What do I need to do next week? You know, all champions have a schedule. How they train, how they eat, when they eat, you know, all this different kind of stuff. When they're meeting here, when they're meeting there, when they're sparring, you know, there is a schedule. So if you want to be a champion in life, if you want to be a champion when it comes to your dreams, when it comes to your goals, the things that you are looking to accomplish, we need to have a schedule. And I'm talking to myself as well. I'm pretty good with it, right? But we can always be better. And I'm working on mine. What do I need to do today? What do I need to do this week? What do I need to do this month? What do I need to do this quarter in order to be able to reach this goal? What do I need to do this year? Who do I need to sit down with? What conversations do we need to have? When do we need to have those conversations? Right? All of these things need to be established. Need to be established. And we need to say to ourselves, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. And believe that it's going to happen. And walk in it. Embody the process. Embody the process every single day. You're going to feel yourself reaching that goal. I promise you. I've been there. I've done it. You're going to feel yourself getting there. And man, you're going to be so excited. But at the same time, you're going to be so focused. And you're going to be so mentally tough. Things that come along and try to distract you are not going to bother you. Obstacles that come are not going to knock you on your back. Things that try to get in the way are not going to faze you. People that do a whole bunch of this are not going to be able to get you off your game. You're going to be laser focused and you're going to be in the process. I mean, in the process. And the process is going to be in you. You're going to be like a locomotive. Anything that gets in the way is going to get run over. Run over. Run over. Run over. And I would encourage you to get in agreement with God so he can shape you, so he can mold you, so he can guide you, so he can show you what to plan for, how to plan, when to plan what, when to do what, when to talk to who, when to make this move, when to make that move. How to think, how to allow yourself to feel. What vibration you're going to be on at any given time, any given hour. What should your focus be? Where should you spend your money? I'm talking about every cent. Where should you spend your time? Where should you spend your energy? The Bible tells us to acknowledge God in all our ways and he'll direct our path. So that's going to help us to become. That's going to help us to become. That's going to help us to get there. That's going to help us to grow. And understanding that all things are going to work together for your good. So that way, if in the process you experience any type of setback, you're gonna take it with a grain of salt. It's gonna be like water on duck feathers. It's just gonna roll off. You'll be able to flow. You won't be emotionally swayed by any temporary circumstances. You won't be emotionally swayed. Because you'll know at the end of the day, when I accomplish this goal, it's not gonna matter. You know, at the end of the day, when I reach the full manifestation of this vision that I've seen so long ago, man, this little bit of stuff that might be, you know, seemingly going wrong here and there, yo, I'll be able to shrug it off and keep it moving. Man, you gotta embody this thing. And when it does, man, you'll be like a super saiyan. You'll be like a super saiyan. And nothing's gonna be able to stop you. Nothing's gonna be able to get in your way. Nothing's gonna be able to defeat you, because you are in the process of becoming who you need to become, and nothing can stop an idea whose time has come. Nothing can stop an idea whose time has come. When it's your time, it's your time. And nothing can take that away from you. Nothing can rob you of that. When it's your time, it's your time. So let's go get it, man. Let's go get it. Let's do what it takes. Some people say DWIT for short. Let's do what it takes. Let's do what it takes. Let's stop settling at doing the best we can. There's some people that give us that advice so we won't feel bad about failing. That's where that comes from. Oh, well, you did your best. You did your best. So that way you won't feel bad about failing. Nah, let's do what it takes. Let's have a do what it takes mentality. Because with a do what it takes mentality, it either gets done or it doesn't. There's no middle ground. There's no teeter-tottering with it. Either gets done or it doesn't. And I'm gonna do what it takes. I'm gonna become who I need to become for it to get done. Let's have that mentality. We'll have a lot more success. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. That doing the best we can stuff, that's for third graders. Huh? That doing the best we can stuff, that's for average folks that are not trying to accomplish anything great, even though they have the seeds of greatness in them. Don't get it twisted. They have the potential to be great. They just choose not to be. But we're not amongst that population, right? We're rocking with greatness. We're rocking with greatness. Our gift is making room for us and bringing us before great men. Why? Because we're great. We're great, and we're qualifying to get in that company of great men and women. So let's make it happen. I'll talk to y'all later. Love y'all. Peace.